Jamie Campbell, brought to you by Villarreal USA. A recap today on Villarreal's 2-1 home defeat to Las Palmas on Sunday. Villarreal won on Thursday night, beating Estadio, a big win and a big performance in the Europa League to get back on track in that competition. But they couldn't take that form into La Liga on Sunday as Pacheta and his men continued to struggle in the league. A 2-1 home defeat to newly promoted Las Palmas. And a strange game really. Villarreal, they weren't the lesser of the better. They weren't not the better side, shall I say? Las Palmas, they held their own, but struggled to create chances for the most part. That was until Villarreal conceded a free kick quite a distance out, actually. Yeremy Pino chopped down his man for picking up an injury, as we'll come on to in a little bit. And then the free kick was out of this world, just unstoppable and amazing strike. And then a strange penalty. Aissa Mandi goes to head of the ball in the second half with no one really around him. Seemingly loses track of the ball in the sun and hits his arm. And the penalty makes it 2-0. Gerard Moreno scored late on to pull it back and make it exciting with the extended added time. But Villarreal couldn't quite find the all-important equaliser. They had chances early in the game. Solot had a chance to square it to Ben Brereton Diaz. Didn't do a great job of the pass. Mount Trigueros missed a huge chance from all of about 5 yards. So Villarreal really paying the price for their missed chances, although I don't think either of the sides were the better team in this one. A draw would have been a fair result, but Las Palmas took advantage of those set pieces, if you like, if you include penalties in that, and take home a big 3 points for them. They go 3 points ahead of Villarreal, who are now much closer to the relegation zone than the top six, although the positive is that Real Sociedad, Real Betis, again, struggling over the weekend as well. Real Sociedad losing, Betis drawing. Villarreal, although it feels strange at this moment to talk about top six ambitions, they don't seem anywhere near that level at this moment in time. But if you compare it to the preseason objective, still just 7 points off the top six, which isn't too bad given how bad Villarreal's start has been. Just 2 league wins so far, one for Pacheta, one for Quique Setien. And Pacheta has won just one of his first 5 La Liga games, which is a huge concern. I think pressure quietly starting to build on him early in his reign. Whether that's fair or not, you can decide. I mean, for me, that the results are not the biggest thing. Obviously, it's a big concern, but the biggest concern for me is Villarreal's lack of plan, really. They don't really look like they have a solid game plan. Actually, Thursday night was one of the few instances where we saw a real game plan against Stade Rennais, but in the league, it doesn't feel like they're working towards anything specifically. It doesn't feel like they have a game plan carved out on how to beat that specific opponent, nor does it feel like they have a really specific way of playing. Um, it's certainly not an exciting way of playing either, very boring at times. You see Ben Brereton Diaz got really frustrated in the game. He's making runs after runs up the wing, thinking he's going to get the ball through, and it's just turn around, pass it backwards, pass it sideways. And okay, we've seen that over the years from Villarreal. It's kind of how the club like to play, fine. But when it's not yielding results, you have to ask questions of that. And we keep seeing a lot of Jose Luis Morales, for example, who's just not delivering, fell over the ball twice in this game, just can't do anything up top, doesn't look threatening. He hasn't looked threatening since he arrived at the club, quite frankly. I don't want to pick on him, but he hasn't been good enough for Villarreal. But he still keeps getting these call up ahead of other players. Elias, he did put up a good performance on off the bench. I have to say, one of the bright sparks of this game. Gerard Moreno obviously come back from injury, produced a really nice strike to get Villarreal back in the game later on. So one or two positives, but a massive negative as well. Yeremy Pino has picked up a pretty serious hamstring injury. He walked off after committing the foul that led to the first goal. Kind of lost his head in this one, actually. Yeah, I mean, bit of a disappointing performance. He should have got a penalty, perhaps, or thought he should have had a penalty early in the game. And when it wasn't given, he kind of lost his head and started kicking just about everyone, focusing on the aggressive part of the game rather than delivering actual good play, which is not good, but okay, understandable for a young player. But anyway, he's picked up a pretty serious hamstring injury. He's had to withdraw from the Spain squad. Disappointing for him, and obviously Villarreal as well. Looking forward to a busy fixture list after the international break. It looks like Yeremy will miss a few weeks at least. Villarreal back in action in around just under 2 weeks. Yeah, they're going to play Alaves in the La Liga first, and then they go on to face Maccabi at home in the Europa League. A game they'll be the two games they'll be expecting to win, but for now, yeah, more pressure on Pacheta, which is a concern. We'll see how long Villarreal give it, how long they allow Villarreal to slip if this continues. Villarreal sliding a little bit now and only 2 places above the relegation zone, so a very long way away from the top six in terms of how it feels. But obviously, like I said, 7 points is make upable at this stage. But how long do Villarreal wait? How big does that gap have to be for Pacheta to come under real pressure? Look, I'm not calling for his job at this stage. I think he should get a chance, but forget results. What I want to see is a real game plan and a more entertaining style of play, or at least a style of play that he can call his own. Because I still don't think that we know what Pacheta wants to do in this team. I don't see any real game plan. It's not like the players are trying to play this one specific way, like with Emery, with the defensive playing off the back, but pressing as well. And then when Emery came in, we saw mistakes as players tried to adapt to that style, and that's fine because you're working towards a clear style of play. Don't see that at the moment. I don't see what Villarreal really trying to do under Pacheta, and then you get the mistakes as well, which is leading to the defeats and conceding goals. So, yeah, it's a concerning time at the moment for Villarreal, but let's see if they can work on it over the international break. And that's the one thing you would say: Pacheta hasn't had much time to work with his players. Villarreal, a couple of internationals away over the break, but the vast majority of them will be staying put in Castellon, Gerard Moreno included, after his recent injury. So perhaps a chance for Pacheta to work his style in over the international break and to work with players a bit more closely without having to play game after game, because it has been a busy few weeks for the club. So we'll give him the chance for now, give him the benefit of the doubt, but Villarreal fans, and indeed, hopefully, Villarreal's decision makers will need to see a bit more going forward from Pacheta and Villarreal as a whole. We're going to take a little bit of a break over the international break. I'm not on international duty, but still going to take a little break from the videos just over the next week to digest a disappointing start to the season. I don't want to harp on about all the frustrations of Villarreal. And hopefully, we'll have something more to be cheerful about after the break. But before the Alaves game on next week, we'll have plenty of build up to that game, including a video before that as well. But we'll keep the content rolling as well on Villarreal USA. So don't forget to head to the website for more in-depth coverage of the Yellow Submarine in English.